But it's just crazy. It makes no sense. Oil is still around $39 a barrel. Gold is at $11.50, down $3.10 today. And the Dow futures are still at 533 in the green. I don't think we've ever seen futures that high. Absolutely amazing. Anyway, getting back to the news, pension funds now are suing big banks over manipulation of $12.7 trillion treasuries market. Now, this is some of the other news that CNN seems to lose. According to AllGov, at least 2 government pension funds have sued major banks, accusing them of manipulating the $12.7 trillion market for U.S. Treasury bonds to drive up profits. Man, that says a lot. Think about that. Pension funds are suing banks over $12.7 trillion market for U.S. Treasury bonds to drive up profits, thereby costing the funds and taxpayers millions of dollars. As with another case earlier this year in which major banks were found to have manipulated the London Interbank Offered Rate, which is the LIBOR, traders are accused of using electronic chat rooms and instant messaging to drive up the price that secondary customers pay for Treasury bonds. Then, conspiring to drop the price banks pay the government for the bonds, increase the spread or profit for the banks. This also ends up costing taxpayers more to borrow money. Now, do you understand any of that? No, I don't. I hope you do. I hope somebody does. But to have pension funds suing big banks, $12.7 trillion? What a Ponzi scheme they've got going there. Microsoft increases secrecy and expands spyware to Windows 7 and 8. The Windows 10 update that turns your PC into a portal for spying on you, were you aware of that? Was just the beginning of what Microsoft is doing. And more people begin to adopt Windows 10. The Redmond giant is building on that foundation to further violate users' privacy and liberty. The whole goal of everything, it seems like. Microsoft seems to be rolling out updates to Windows 7 and 8 that bring them into line with the spyware elements of Windows 10. Because Microsoft's services agreement and privacy policy apply to all products and services offered by Microsoft, it looks as though the company is expanding its spying to include Windows 7 and 8. According to hackspec.com, new updates that will be deployed to all Windows 7, 8, and 8.1 machines will turn their computers into a big piece of spyware, just like Windows 10. Get ready, you're about to get hit, ladies and gentlemen. In the health news, iodine supplements in pregnancy may boost babies' brains. Iodine is a vitally important nutrient detected in every organ and tissue in your body, along with being essential for healthy thyroid function and efficient metabolism. There is increasing evidence that low iodine is related to numerous diseases, including cancer. Iodine might also severely affect your child's brain and intellectual prowessness, and it is important for healthy brain development. We'll be back after this 1 minute, 10-second break with more health news. 24 reasons you need hydrogen peroxide. Maybe. We'll be back. 1 minute, 10 seconds. Stay tuned. Joyce Riley.
Jump off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, love, laugh, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Fay.
Every Thursday night at 7 on KCAA, NBC News Radio, AM 1050.
This is Dick from Carpet Masters. Carpet Masters has been serving the Inland Empire for over 55 years. Carpet Masters uses extraction cleaning for your carpet because there's no better cleaning to remove the soil from your carpet. All of our furniture cleaning is done by hand in your home or in our plant. Carpet Masters also offers dry cleaning for fine furniture. Call Carpet Masters at 793-7215. That's 793.
This is KCAA Loma Linda, the station that leaves no listener behind. CNBC News is next, a courtesy of BuySellMakeOffer.com, where you can post a video about items you have for sale.
Chuck Kamlick, CNBC Radio. After the market's worst three-day losses ever, stocks are set to soar today. The Dow could jump 500 points, in part because China cut interest rates this morning, trying to help its economy. Crude oil prices also benefiting from that rate cut. Crude's up $1.17, still below $40 a barrel. But that should give a lift to oil company stocks, which could add a little fuel to the market's fire today. Not everyone's been scared off by China's problems. Warner Brothers is now in talks with a Chinese media company to make local language movies there. The bird flu outbreak cut demand for U.S. chicken overseas, China too. Prices fell 30% for chicken wings, and that hurt Sanderson Farms, where profits fell by a third last quarter. An online real estate company, Zillow, says home values have begun to cool off. Homes lost 0.1% of their value in July, while rents rose more than 4% when compared to the same month 1 year ago. I'm Chuck Kamlick, CNBC Radio.
I had Belvita breakfast biscuits this morning. Then what did I do? Made my bed, fed my fish, got dressed, cleaned the dish, remembered to floss, but still didn't do it. Ran a lap on the track, dropped my phone, didn't crack, got in before the boss, made sure that he knew it. Oh, hey, you just getting here?
Crunchy Belvita breakfast biscuits are made with delicious ingredients and carefully baked to release steady energy all morning long. Share your morning win. Belvita.
Morning win.
Have you had trouble with online dating? This is eHarmony founder Dr. Neil Clark Warren. We've created a new solution, EH Plus. EH Plus combines the personal attention of a matchmaker with eHarmony's extensive pool of great singles. EH Plus gives you hand-selected matches and freedom from being online. Get started today. Call 855-930-LOVE. That's 855-930-LOVE.
Consider this your invitation to sell. At BuySellMakeOffer.com, you can sell as much as you want for the next 60 days without paying any fees whatsoever. Sound incredible? It is, and it's true. BuySellMakeOffer.com is the new exciting way to sell your stuff online. Make extra money right now. Sell your old car, furniture, video games, household items, clothes, even your home. Sell anything that's legal. Load up your stuff to sell right now at BuySellMakeOffer.com. This is your official invitation to get on board to sell your stuff right now. Free for the next 60 days. And once you see how easy it is, you'll want to sign up for more because there are no item fees. That's right. Take this opportunity to move items from the other guys and sell it for free. You might even win a Samsung tablet, Amazon gift cards, and other cool prizes. BuySellMakeOffer.com is the future of online selling. You can use Skype to talk to your buyer or seller. Plus, you can use video to showcase your items. BuySellMakeOffer.com.
From the KCAA Weather Center, I'm Ron Pritchard for this morning. Got a chance of showers and thunderstorms, mostly sunny, a high near 91. Tonight, partly cloudy, a low near 70. Mostly sunny with a high near 97 on Wednesday. Wednesday night, mostly clear with a low near 71. Thursday, sunny with a high near 99. Thursday night, mostly clear, low near 72. Friday, sunny with a high near 99. Friday night, mostly clear with a low near 69. Saturday, sunny with a high near 97. Saturday night, mostly clear with a low near 69. There's your weather forecast for this hour from the station that leaves no listener behind, NBC News Radio, AM 1050 KCAA.
I'm Erin Brinker. It's time for your KCAA AM 1050 traffic. In Ontario, we have stop-and-go traffic on the 60 westbound between Milliken Avenue and Vineyard Avenue. Also in Ontario, we have slow and go on the 60 west from Milliken to the 57. In Corona, we have stop-and-go traffic on the 91 westbound between McKinley and Green River. The 71 south is busy between Euclid and the 91. In Corona, slow traffic on the I-15 northbound between Temescal Canyon and Cajalco Road. In Moreno Valley, we have an accident on the shoulder Boulder, it's blocked on the 215 at Highway 60. And in Chino, there's an off-ramp closed at the 60 eastbound at Mountain Avenue. Chino 60 east at Mountain Avenue off-ramp. Caltrans activity has the off-ramp closed. This is a long-term closure until 6 a.m. on 8/31/15. Thank you so much for listening to KCAA AM 1050. I'm Aaron Brinker.
Here's your Money Minute with Market Wrap host Mo Ansari.
If you follow the markets, you've probably been getting seasick lately. But what if I told you that market volatility can be a good thing? If you're a bargain hunter, this is your coupon. So keep your shopping list handy. If you're a long-term investor with plenty of time before retirement, the money going into your 401k each month will buy more shares when the markets are down. And if you have a good financial plan, you can relax while others worry, because that plan will carry you beyond today's headlines. Of course, you should always consider professional guidance before making any financial decisions. That's your Money Minute. I'm Mo Ansari.
For more tips on investing during market volatility and other investment topics, listen to Market Wrap weekdays at 5 p.m. on this station. For a free consultation with Mo Ansari, call 800-388-9700. That's 800-388-9700.
Compact Asset Management is a registered investment advisor. Funds custodian, Fidelity Institutional Wealth Services, member FINRA SIPC.
Hey, buddy, I heard the drought's moving in, muscling in on your turf. To make matters worse, the man keeps telling you to limit your spigot. That drought is bad news, no fooling. But me and my boys can help. The Water Boys, on the Water Zone, Thursday nights at 6. We'll help you protect your turf and save water. And hey, don't worry about it. Consider it a gift.
Yeah, Louie, you heard the boss. We gotta listen in at 6 p.m. on Thursday nights.
Okay, Vinny, you got it. The Water Zone, Thursday nights at 6 p.m. I'll tell our lawn it's now protected.
The Water Zone on KCAA 1050 AM.
Good morning. I'm Aaron Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
And we are on the Brink, the morning show on KCAA AM 1050. We have a special co-host for the show today, Todd Brinker. Welcome to the show.
Good morning. How are you?
Are doing fantastic. Yeah, it's another Brinker on the Brink.
50% more Brink. Is that awesome?
50% more
Brink
Brinker.
all the time.
So, as you might guess, Todd is Tobin's brother.
We're going to guess about that? It's a guess?
No, it's not a guess. I just told them.
I thought it was pretty obvious.
Oh, my gosh. Maybe.
We look a lot alike.
You do look a lot alike, but this is radio, so our listeners don't know that.
That's true. I actually wonder...
we sound a lot alike, too, unfortunately.
Yeah, actually, it's true.
I'm wondering if people will get confused between which one of us is talking, Todd. Maybe we should come up with like some weird call sign or something.
No,
so
please
we know
don't. That would just be
Yo,
annoying.
Todd is talking.
Yeah. Please don't. So before I get started, as I always do, I want to let everyone know all the ways they can listen to KCAA AM 1050. Of course, you can find us at 1050 on the AM dial. You can also find us at kcaaradio.com, where you'll find links to all of our social media, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. You'll also find our embedded Ustream feed. You can watch us on our Ustream feed, or you can click through and watch us on Ustream. If you have an Android device, you can listen to us at kcaaexpress.com. If you have an Apple device, you can listen to us with the TuneIn app. You can also listen to us on your phone. Say you have a dumb phone or a flip phone or a home phone and you want to listen, you can do that by calling 909. Wait, what's the number? I can't see that far. What is it, Tobin? You're going to have to read it.
That's 909-888-5222.
No. That's our call-in number.
I'm sorry. What number are we listening to?
Oh my gosh, I say this every day. I'm pulling it up. Pulling it up.
Is this Monday?
I can just make up some numbers. If you guys aren't sure about that, we'll just throw numbers out there.
That's so funny. I do this literally every day. 832-999-1050. Is that what it is? 832-999-1050. That's what it is. Sorry, just had a brain fade for a second because it's early in the morning and now I have Zeppelin in the brain. That was good choice this morning, Brandon. Thank you.
No problem. Alternatively, they can call 909-888-KCAA.
Oh, there you go. There you go. So, yeah, we never ever give the call-in numbers, and that's, 909 83 no, that's 888-5222 or 888-909-1050.
That's right.
Yes, to call in and talk to us.
Just call.
Just call.
Just do something.
Harass us.
On a Tuesday morning.
It is Tuesday, right?
It is Tuesday.
It is Gratitude Tuesday.
But it feels like a Monday.
It does feel like a Monday.
I got in the car this morning, Aaron, 79 degrees. I'm thinking it can't be 79 degrees at 5:30 in the morning.
Yes.
This is crazy.
It's crazy. 79 degrees at 5:30 in the morning.
That immediately.
It's summer that won't quit.
I know.
Yeah. And I'm back at work. I can't believe I'm back at work and it's still that hot out.
Yes. All right. So there's an important story that came out of San Bernardino. And Tobin, do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, this one's a late edition. Just saw it this morning as we woke up. Yesterday, the San Bernardino City Council voted 4-3 to move forward with transferring responsibility for fire and emergency protection to the county fire department, a move that also would mean a $142 per year tax on every parcel in the city. The move follows the advice of several sets of consultants, those responsible for a post-bankruptcy plan that included outsourcing and new revenues that the council approved 6-1, and firefighting experts, but came against heavy opposition from residents. And so this is a big deal. They voted to do it. I'm a little surprised by the way the vote broke down.
Why?
Let's look at it, because there's actually 2 votes. There's a 4-3 vote to outsource fire. So we had 4 people in favor, 3 against. The 3 opposed were Henry Nickel, John Valdivia, and Benito Barrios.
Well, Henry Nickel, of course, is up for re-election this cycle.
Yeah. But still, I'm surprised because this is something that is essential to fixing the city's bankruptcy problems.
That's the thing. It is in their plan of adjustment.
Yeah.
And so to have voted against it, I mean, I suppose that Valdivia knew that the vote would go the opposite way.
Yeah.
But so to vote against it at this point would have been a slap in the face to the judge.
Yeah. But in order to raise taxes, you have a higher threshold. You need more votes. You need, I think, 5 or 6 to get there, and they got 6-1, with Valdivia being the only one who voted against the tax. And so, you know, it's interesting. I think the people would have been more upset about having their taxes raised than having the fire. I mean, fire service is still going to be provided. It's just one agency versus another.
Right.
You know, you'd think that would have been the easier vote that would have had the higher level of support, but no, it's reversed. You know, you had more support for the tax. So it's going to be very interesting. Both items, though, are essential to fixing the city's bankruptcy issue. And so now it goes on to the local agency Formation Commission, which is LAFCO, and they have, I think, 60 days to hear this, and then they have to go through a series of public meetings, and then it'll go forward or not.
So the financial impact was much debated, with disparate numbers suggested, but was presented by Andy Belknap of Management Partners as an $11 million contribution to solvency between savings and increased revenue options. Beyond that, the idea outsourcing and raising revenues was included in the recovery plan the city presented to the bankruptcy court, and backing away from that commitment could lead to the U.S. bankruptcy judge Meredith jury to dismiss the city from bankruptcy, and that is very, very serious.
Yeah.
Had this vote gone the other way, she might have just thrown up her hands and said, "I'm done with you. You're out of bankruptcy."
Yeah,
because it's been 3 years, folks.
Yeah, I think they would have. I think they would have been kicked out of bankruptcy in a heartbeat. I mean, this is, after the failed measure last year to get rid of
186.
186. Yeah, I mean, I think this was a no-brainer. It had to happen. So it's going to be interesting to see as it moves forward. The residents who are opposed to this still have an option to go and try a protest with LAFCO, but they would need to get 25% of the landowners who own at least 25% of the assessed land value in the city in order to force it to go to a public vote. So they would have to go out and get signatures and to get a formal protest from 25% of the landowners, and that's a high
threshold,
very high threshold.
And let me say, the reason why it had to go to this is because the fire department has been absolutely intractable.
Yeah.
I firmly believe that the city would have much preferred to have worked with the fire department to have found a solution that would have fit in your budget, because the ultimately you cannot give what you do not have.
Yeah.
And the fire department's response for years has been to sue the city repeatedly, and and to fight. I mean, bare knuckle fighting figuratively in the public forum over these issues, and they've left us no choice. And I say us, being a resident of the city, but they've left the city absolutely no choice but to do what they did.
Yeah,
and that's unfortunate.
I agree.
And what does this mean now for the fire department? I mean, having made this move, are all of these firemen then going to be out of a job and then hope to get picked up by the county then to cover it?
Well, most of them will probably be picked up by the county. The group that's probably most adversely affected, though, is the San Bernardino fire managers. So the management department.
Yeah. So administration is the one who's been leading the fight.
Yeah.
Is the one who's going to end up biting the bullet here.
Yeah, and in fact, they actually had a last-minute sort of protest from their group, because the county will take them on, but at a much lower rank and a much lower pay. They cannot come in at their same high level in management, and so those guys are the ones who are most likely to sort of go look for work elsewhere and probably won't end up with the county.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how it goes. The county basically will take over all the old city fire stations, take over the city's equipment. They'll keep the name. The fire department will still be San Bernardino City Fire Department on the trucks. They're not going to change that. So, the residents really not going to see much change. You'll probably
they
have
may close some stations, because there are stations that get few calls. And you and I, we drove by a fire the other day, and it looked like there was one tree on fire. They rolled 8 trucks.
Yeah, there was a palm tree, and there were 8 trucks there trying to make sure that we got it all.
I mean, come on, 8 trucks for one tree. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, but you saw it, I didn't. But you also don't want it to spread. It's a pretty dry time of year, so.
Indeed.
Well,
but there's still a finite number of fire plugs.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. And they don't know necessarily when the call first comes in how quickly it's growing or how bad it's going to be. So they do roll a lot to begin with, and then they assess when they get there if they need to pull them back. But
that's true.
You don't want to roll with one and
you need a lot more.
Yeah.
That's true. Well, it's time for a break at 6:16. I'm Erin Brinker.
I'm Tobin Brinker.
We got Todd Brinker joining us today. We are on the Brink, the morning show on KCAA AM 1015. We'll be right back.
You're listening to KCAA, your good neighbor along the way.
Peter Georgescu has a message he wants America's corporate and political elites to hear. "I'm scared," he said in a recent New York Times op-ed. He adds that Paul Tudor Jones is scared too, as is Ken Langone, and they're trying to get the powers that be to pay attention to their urgent concerns. But wait, these 3 are powers that be. Georgescu is a former head of Young and Rubicam, one of the world's largest PR and advertising firms. Jones is a quadruple billionaire hedge fund operator, and Langone is a founder of Home Depot. What's scaring these powerful peers of the corporate plutocracy? Inequality. Yes, amazingly, these actual occupiers of Wall Street say they share Occupy Wall Street's critical analysis of America's widening chasm between the rich and the rest of us. We are creating a caste system from which it is almost impossible to escape, Georgescu wrote, not only trapping the poor, but also those on the higher end of the middle class. Of course, their concern is not driven by moral outrage, but by self-interest. We are concerned where income inequality will lead, he said. Specifically, he warned that the present path will lead to social unrest or, horror of horrors, oppressive taxes on the super-rich. Motivation aside, Georgescu does comprehend that society must, quote, invest in the actual value creators, the employees. How? With a wage that enables employees to share amply in productivity increases. He adds that nearly all corporate chieftains agree on the need to compensate employees better. This is Jim Hightower saying, great, so they'll just do it, right? No. The CEOs say that to get them to pay more to workers, they need the government to, guess what, give tax breaks to their corporations to subsidize any wage increases. These guys put the sin in cynical.
Hi, this is Steve Allenhart from Rancho Financial with the Mortgage Minute.
With property values increasing, this might be the perfect time to do a loan checkup to see if it makes sense to refinance. Do you have an equity line? If your equity line is getting close to 10 years old, your payment is about to fully amortize. Coupled with the certainty that the feds will soon increase short-term rates, there might be a substantial jump in payment on your line of credit. If we combine your current loan, equity line, and possibly even some of your credit debt, there could be a substantial reduction in what you have to pay each month. Do you have VA eligibility? VA will allow 100% cash-out financing. This may be a perfect time to use your eligibility. We can go 85% cash out with FHA or 80% with a standard conventional loan. There are many possible options that could make a huge difference in your monthly payments. That's why you need a loan financial planner to provide you with all of your possible options. Give me a call, Steve Aladort, at 888-563-1070. That's 888-563-1070, or go to loanfinancialplanner.com.
Freeway Auto Center is your road to home. Now open and ready to send you home in a much better car than you're driving now. Freeway Auto Center has a special phone number for KCAA listeners. Get ready, get a pen. Here's the number you need. Right now, in the 909 area code, call 269-8731. Got it? 269-8731. That's the number you need for Freeway Auto Center. Just call 909-269-8731 and ask for the road to home. You may need to unload a car that costs more to fix than you paid for it. Maybe you need a dependable car for your kids to go to college. Maybe it's just time. Freeway Auto Center on Waterman, north of the 10, has the selection you're looking for. Freeway Auto Center will get you there. Call 909-269-8731. That's 269-8731. That's your number for Freeway Auto Center.
Art Bell is back, and KCAA is his home in the Inland Empire.
There are a lot of people who think that we are Martians, that there's a strong possibility that we are Martians. That's why I said us. No, I'm serious. There was a civilization on Mars. That life had been us or our ancestors.
Nobody is more captivating than Art Bell.
Now, I tell you, ladies and gentlemen, there is something here that defies logical explanation.
Tune into the best, Midnight in the Desert with Art Bell.
The only way you're going to get the American people to pony up the billions of dollars, however many hundreds of billions it would be to go to Mars, the only way you're going to get them to do that is to convince them that we have a real reason to go.
Want to take a ride?
Art Bell is back, and KCAA is his Inland Empire home. Weekdays 9 to midnight on KCAA, 1050 AM. For more local radio every day, tune into KCAA Loma Linda.
Welcome back. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
We have Todd Brinker on the line. Hey, Todd.
Todd, you with us?
I'm sorry. Yeah, here I am.
He was taking a sip of coffee, ladies and gentlemen.
I found me.
So I asked this question to both of you. Is there honor among thieves?
Honor among thieves.
I think there's theft among thieves.
I think that's probably true. That's probably true. Well, you've heard of the whole Ashley Madison story, haven't you, Todd?
Oh, yeah.
So Ashley Madison is offering $378,000 American dollars or 500,000 Canadian dollars for information leading to the prosecution of the individual or group involved in the hack and posting of all of their confidential information. After having gigabytes upon gigabytes of confidential customer information stolen and posted online, cheating website ashleymadison.com is not rolling over. It's in the very best interest of our customers who have been affected by this malicious act. We are firmly committed to fully assisting these law enforcement and investigative authorities without reserve, said Ashley Madison's parent company, Avid Life Media. What do you think?
I think it's hilarious, but I think you missed the punchline, so I got to say it over for you.
Okay.
So it's $378,000 American dollars or 500,000 loonies. Loonies, Aaron.
Loonies?
That's what the Canadians call their money.
Are you? I've never heard that.
Yeah, they're loonies. You've never seen a loonie? It's hilarious.
Okay, somebody Google that really quickly. Is loony a Canadian dollar?
You think I'm just making it up?
I don't know.
You
You've been known to do that, Tobin.
Thinking he's a little loony.
I'm pranking you on the air?
Yes.
I would do. Oh, I should try that sometime to see if you fall for it.
No.
No. They're loonies. But no, when you said the 378,000, I thought that's such an odd number, right?
Yeah, but it's a Canadian company.
Yeah, it is. But it's such an odd number, and that why are they paying it now? I mean, they were hacked a while ago, and it just seems odd. It's like this kind of like afterthought thing. Now that all the damage has been done, we want to look like we're trying to do something to.
Well, and I mean, and they were one of those companies too that they used as part of their marketing. This is the safe way to cheat on your spouse. This is the safe way to do it. We protect all of your information. They were just begging for somebody to come and try to prove them wrong.
Yep.
Yeah, some hackers just do it because they can. There's no, That's why I asked the question, is there honor among thieves? Because my guess is it wasn't just one person.
So I think Brandon had something for us here.
So, I did look it up. The loonie is a single Canadian dollar, and it's a coin.
See?
So you were right.
So, yeah, it's a real thing.
It's definitely a loony.
It really is.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to be loony if you went on the Ashley Madison site.
So, Tobin, you brought up some points, earlier in the week. I don't know if we did this on the air or off the air, but, you have all these media sites that are outing a lot of Christians, because they're wanting to out the hypocrisy. But, I can't imagine that there is, or they're outing Christians or outing government people, but they're not outing themselves. I mean, are we to believe that there's nobody in the New York Times who is on this site?
Or at CNN.com or Fox News. You think they'd at least go dig on Fox, right? The mainstream media loves to dig on Fox. You'd think they would find someone in the media who had used this and be outing them. I also think this is being used for some blackmail. I don't know if you've heard about the rash of suicides now. I guess there's been 3 or 4 suicides of people that were outed. And the biggest one is a police chief in Texas.
No.
And I don't remember which city, but I was hearing it on the radio myself yesterday or today. And so, that they think people were trying to blackmail him or something to that effect. And these people have chosen instead to kill themselves.
I guess it shouldn't be surprising, but that's just horrifically sad that that's happening.
Yeah.
I mean, most people look at this and they laugh about it and say, wow, how stupid were these people? But you sometimes forget about the human side, that some of these people are actually in a position now where they're feeling trapped and don't have any options. And they got to understand that there's always options.
Well, and here's the thing, and this is something that I'm not clear about. These names are in the database, right? So they're in Ashley Madison's database, but we don't know that they actually ever hooked up with anybody. I mean, it's just their name is there. So, how many people were ticked at their spouse and they went out and signed up, but they never did anything more, which means, they're being persecuted because they thought about having an affair? That doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting, too, because there's several different sites now that are broadcasting where you can go and search the database to see if your name is in the database, but they want your name and your email and your information. So now you have to go trust somebody else with your information who knows that they're not going to just stick your name on the database and then turn around and blackmail you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, Tobin, I actually looked this up, and this is according to the BBC. There have been suicides over the website hack. Police in Toronto gave no further information about the deaths, except to say that they've happened. Details of more than 33 million accounts were stolen from the website, which offers users a chance to have an affair. Addressing the hackers known as the Impact Team, Acting Staff Superintendent Bryce Evans of the Toronto Police said, "I want to make it very clear that you and your actions are illegal, and we will not be tolerating them. This is your wake-up call." So it's really awful that people have committed suicide, and apparently there are 3 of them. So
yeah, and there's several class action suits that are already pending against Ashley Madison for not following through with what their advertising said they were going to do in terms of keeping everything safe and protected and anonymous. And so I suspect we will see Ashley Madison disappear as an entity before too much longer, just because they're not going to be able to withstand the court cases, I suspect.
The thing that's so ridiculous about this is that, we have this prurient tendency in the in more so in the U.S. I think, and maybe Canada than say in France, where I guess they're more easygoing about these sorts of things. And not that I think that people should be going out and having affairs. I just think it's none of my business. It affects the people in the marriage and that sort of thing. But I don't care, and I don't want to know if somebody else is having an affair. It's not my business.
I think you're probably in the minority there, though. I mean, if you look at what's become what passes for news anymore, we talk about the Kardashians, we talk about people's private lives that they've made pseudo-public through pseudo-reality shows that are supposed to be reality, but they're clearly pretty well scripted and pretty well set up. And that's what, when you tune into your news now, that's what they lead with sometimes on what used to be respected news channels. And so I think just as a society, we've become more and more interested in just the ridiculously unimportant.
It's true. I think. Well, did you see the footage of this TV anchorman? I think in Florida, one of the stories that they covered was that one of the Kardashians had gotten a rabbit and he lost it. It's like, this is not news. I'm done.
And I felt for the guy. I was with him every step of the way. It's like, it was like the old movie. What was that? Newsroom, I think it was, wasn't it? Where the guy just says, I'm mad and stomps out. And
is that Broadcast News?
Broadcast News, yeah, and
yes.
The scene in Broadcast News, and the guy. In fact, if you watch the clip, you can hear him for another 30 seconds or so off screen. He's standing off screen, but still on stage, just ranting, going on. This is just ridiculous. This is not news. This is not what I signed up for. I didn't spend years in school learning to become a journalist for this.
But I just wanted to know what kind of bunny was it.
Would you stop it? We don't care.
So I actually found the name. It's actually the San Antonio police chief, Aaron, that committed suicide.
And the Daily Mail would cover it, but the BBC wouldn't. So
So this is there are repercussions to this leak that go way beyond just letting people know sort of who's out there. I mean, this is affecting a lot of people's lives. But like I said before, I think that there's a lot of people that haven't been outed in terms of like the media. I think they're protecting their own people.
Maybe until somebody is, until they're not. I mean, they'll protect it till they're not.
Yeah,
quite the conspiracy theory there. I suspect that the news is not so well put together that they would protect anybody. I suspect that they just haven't had a chance to dig through all of the names in the list yet.
Yeah.
What I wish they would do. We talked about the sites that allow you to search. They should just post the list as a giant PDF. So that I can search it myself.
Yeah.
And that way I don't have to trust, putting stuff onto some other search site.
Yep.
That I don't know the source of. Because it'd be fun to do a little fishing around and see whose names you could find. I wonder how many people signed up as Barack Obama for this thing.
That's right.
That's true. Well, it's time for a break. It's 6:31. I'm Aaron Brinker.
I'm Tobin Brinker.
And we have Todd Brinker. So, Todd, you say, and I'm Todd Brinker.
And I'm Todd Brinker. Each time I've done that, but you've come in very quickly and said, and Todd Brinker's with us today. And so I didn't want to talk over you, but I'll get in the rhythm of this.
Sounds great. We are on The Brink, the morning show on Kcaa AM 1050, and we'll be right back.
Dear future husband, here's a few things you need to know if you wanna be my one and only, all my life. Take me on.
This is KCAA.
California headline news: in the state capital, lawmakers are pursuing an effort to extend civil rights protections to people speaking foreign languages or who aren't legal residents. Assemblymember David Chu noting a handful of cases from the past where the proposed law would apply.
Persons were denied service or asked to leave establishments because they were conversing with friends or family in a non-English language.
The Assembly passed the bill, which already had Senate approval. Gas prices heading back down after an increase last week.
Nationwide, regular unleaded is down 8 cents a gallon to $2.64. The Midwest is down 12 cents. California still has the country's most expensive gas, where the average price of regular unleaded is at $3.48 a gallon.
Correspondent Alex Stone: a person hit by a BART train killed in an apparent suicide at San Francisco's Embarcadero station. A fire department official says witnesses reported that a man standing on the BART platform jumped in front of an oncoming train. Geico weather warming up in the Southern California region today. Jeff Scott, California News.
What's that sound you're hearing, California? Might sound like a regular train. It's not. It's a savings train. And the lucky people boarding it just switched to Geico and saved money on their car insurance.
All aboard! Next up, Cha-Ching City, then on to Blissburg.
Yep, California. That's the sound of savings.
For a free rate quote, visit geico.com and see how much you could save. Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And now, a touching moment. Well, staying in touch with Geico.
It was a warm summer day. I was just sitting on a porch watching a babbling brook roll by. Then, out of the blue, I got an update from my Geico app saying my claim had been processed. I felt so connected to nature, to Geico. I stayed there the whole afternoon until that guy told me to stop trespassing on his porch. Sheesh, what was his problem?
Claim status updates, just a few taps away on the Geico app.
It's time for the KCAA Community Calendar, brought to you exclusively by Learn for Life, a growing network of public charter schools. The clear mission of Learn for Life is to motivate and mentor students who have dropped out of school and provide them with the personalized education and technical training necessary to advance their lives. KCAA Radio wants you to take extra precautions if you work in the sun or in any hot environment this summer, especially if you're a senior citizen and if you take certain medications. Be aware that antidepressants and antihistamines act on an area of the brain that controls the skin's ability to produce sweat. Sweating is the body's natural cooling system, so if you can't sweat, you risk getting overheated. Also, beta blockers reduce the ability of the heart and lungs to adapt to stress, including the stress associated with working in a hot environment. Therefore, beta blockers can, under certain conditions, contribute to the likelihood of a heat stroke and other heat-related illnesses. Did you know that amphetamines can raise body temperature? Did you know that diuretics encourage fluid loss, which can quickly lead to dehydration in hot weather? Did you know that sedatives can reduce a person's awareness of physical discomfort, which means symptoms of heat stress could be ignored? Did you know that decongestants can decrease blood flow to the skin, which impacts the blood's ability to cool down? Well, if you didn't know it before this announcement, you certainly know it now. So take this message seriously. Take care of yourself when you're working in the heat. Stay hydrated, work slower, and take breaks to cool down. This message is from KCAA. The KCAA Community Calendar is presented exclusively by Learn for Life, a growing network of public charter schools where students can complete their education on a part-time basis. To find a resource center nearest you, call 1-877-360-LEARN or visit Learn for Life online at learn4life.org.
Like to spend a few days in another world? Then write this down. Golden Bear Cottages, Big Bear Lake. Now, listen, this is not some corporate-owned operation. It's family-owned and operated by some real nice people. Unique? Oh, you bet. Golden Bear Cottages features 28 one-of-a-kind cabins on a 5-acre historic site. Great for families, couples, and groups. And cabins are available with 1 to 7 bedrooms. Golden Bear Cottages is just a stone's throw from Big Bear Lake and super close to 3 great ski areas. Now, I could go on all day about Golden Bear Cottages in Big Bear, but to see everything, just go to goldenbear.net. Again, goldenbear.net. Golden Bear Cottages in Big Bear. Clean, comfortable, and affordable. Check them out. goldenbear.net.
Thank you, Inland Empire, for listening to KCAA Radio.
Welcome back. I'm Erin Brinker.
I'm Tobin Brinker.
And we got Todd Brinker on the line. So it is like a Monday today.
It is a little Monday-ish.
It is a little Monday-ish. All right, so there's a really good story in the Huffington Post. And Tobin, you want to talk about that?
Yeah, I don't know about everyone that listens, but I sometimes have real trouble falling asleep, And so you found an article that gives 7 sleep doctors have given their list of what are the tricks for falling asleep.
For me, I have no problem falling asleep. It's generally staying asleep that's tougher for me. I fall asleep really fast, but I'll wake up and sometimes have a hard time going back to sleep.
So some of these are kind of fun and interesting, and some of them are more of the traditional ones you might have heard of before. The first one, though, really caught my attention. Blow bubbles, Aaron. Bubbles.
Yeah, I thought this list was pretty funny. I thought that why would they lead with that one? Blow bubbles.
Because it's so absurd. You think it's absurd. It sounds ridiculous.
Yeah, well, and I can imagine a lot of people, you would blow the bubbles and then you'd lie in bed wide awake thinking about all the soap that you're going to have to clean up as the bubbles popped all around your room.
But can't you just imagine your favorite people like sitting there at their bedside with the little bubble maker thing blowing the bubbles? You know the ones you had when you were a kid.
The little wands.
The little wand. You stick it in the soapy water and you blow the bubbles. Can't you just imagine like someone really serious like sitting there with their little bubbles?
It actually sounds like fun. It does.
It might be fun if you could like aim the bubbles at like your spouse sleeping there, or the, if you've got a pet in the room, you can like shoot bubbles at them. That might be entertaining.
That's why I can't sleep. It's the cat. I'm blowing bubbles at the cat.
Well, they say it's like a deep breathing exercise, which helps calm your body and mind.
So why not just breathe deeply?
Yeah,
I don't know, because when you're breathing deeply, you're thinking, okay, I'm breathing deeply. I hope this makes me calmer.
Well,
and you're not going, I'm blowing bubbles is the stupidest thing I've ever done in my life.
Yeah, but you can't help but laugh when you blow the bubbles, right? I mean, you can't help but have
could
fun
put
with
you in a
it.
positive mood. That's right. Yeah, you'll flash back to your childhood memories.
Well, and they actually say after the bubble explanation that if you feel too silly doing that you could try instead just sitting in a comfortable position, close your eyes, and focus on counting your breaths for 3 to 15 minutes. And just that process of counting your breaths actually will slow down your breathing and will relax you. And it's a form of meditation. And that'll help to lower your blood pressure and your heart rate and get your anxiety to go away, and you can go to sleep.
Yep, and if it's the racing mind that gets me. And all of these will add to that. But with the heart lowering the heart rate, hopefully will cause your mind to not race as much. But it's that thinking of all the things that you didn't get done today, the things that you have to get done tomorrow, or the world's going to end.
Well, the next one is one that definitely works for me, and that is to sidetrack your mind by reading, Aaron. I'll sometimes sit down at night and I'll pick up a good book, and even though it may be a really good book and I may want to read, just the process of sitting there and reading right when it's bedtime, all of a sudden my eyes start to droop and then the book's in my lap and I'm like, oh.
Unless the book's really good, and then you'll be up all night with it. You've done that many times.
I have done that as well.
That's the other side of that story is you've got to find something you want to read that you don't really want to read.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Moby Dick. That's the perfect book to be reading at
Call
bedtime.
me Ishmael.
Then you'll
and
be
he's out.
Snoring.
They should have that book like on the prescription aisle right next to the sleep meds, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, some of these are kind of silly, but if it saves you popping a Xanax to calm your mind, then I suppose you've made a step in the right direction.
Or an Ambien, where you get up, you wake up the next morning, you're really full and your refrigerator's empty, and you have no idea what happened.
And you can't find your cat.
Oh my goodness. So the next one actually I don't think would work for me, and they say exercising in the evening will help you to zonk out. I don't believe it. For me,
I've actually heard the exact opposite. In fact, they say you shouldn't exercise a couple hours before you go to bed because the adrenaline blast that you get from doing that takes several hours to work its way out of your system.
Yeah, I used to do a lot of evening runs, but the problem is that it just keeps me up. I mean, I'm completely wired afterwards, So this one would not work for me.
Now, they do have one here that says tune out. So listening to soft, calming music. And you can, if you're listening to Pandora on your phone, you can set a timer so that it goes off at a certain time.
Yeah.
Isn't that the exact opposite, though? I mean, they're saying tune out by tuning into something that's soft and calm.
Okay, yeah.
I was kind of mistitled, but
yeah.
But I get that. I've actually done that one. I do that, and I've actually got a white noise machine that kind of makes like the sound of waves and stuff.
Yep.
And I find that does sometimes help me relax a little bit.
And I sleep with a fan every night. I can't sleep without that hum.
Yeah, us too.
Yeah, that's to drown out my loud snoring, I think.
No. You only snore when you're sick.
Okay. That's good to know. That's good to know.
So they say shun the clock. Once you turn out the lights, don't check the time again, even if you wake up in the middle of the night. I don't know. I do that. I check the time when I wake up in the middle of the night.
Yeah, you check the time a lot.
I do.
You do. You're constantly rolling over and picking up your cell phone, looking at the time, checking your
I
mail.
get that one too, though, about not always looking at the clock. In fact, we have clocks on both sides of the bed because otherwise I have to basically sit all the way up in bed to see the clock on the other side of the room. So, yeah, it's probably not a bad idea to do it, but I'm guilty of checking the clock every time I wake up. That way I can get the blow-by-blow the next day. It's like, I woke up at 2:05, 3:27, and 4:18.
But haven't you done this thing where it's like, okay, if I fall asleep right now, I'm going to get 5 hours of sleep. All right, if I fall asleep right now, I'm going to get 3.5 hours of sleep. And it just keeps you up more. Brandon's nodding his head. You do that, Brandon?
Doing that countdown.
Yeah, and my thing is I can't fall asleep without having Netflix or something.
It's like I can get enough hours and I can still be rested tomorrow if I can just get to sleep now.
Yeah.
Yep. Brandon, we can hardly hear you.
Is this better?
Oh, that is better.
There
That
we
is
go.
better. So yeah, it is. Netflix. I will get into a show and want to stay up.
Oh, I make sure it's a show I've already seen, so I know what's going to happen, and I can just sort of use it to not think.
Yes. You can watch any Law and Order episode, and you already know what's going to happen.
The white woman did it.
The white woman did it.
That's
okay,
funny.
now here's
Last
one.
one's what make a to-do list.
Yeah,
To me, that seems like the antithesis of going to sleep. I would have this to-do list and start going through all the things that I've got to do.
Right.
And then start working through each of the steps for each of those things. And, I might as well just get up out of bed and start doing the list at that point.
Well, they give you the name of the doctor for that one, so I'm not going to him. That's Andrew J. Westwood.
I just write him, put him on my to-do list, says call this doctor and say you're full of it.
Yeah, because that would just make me feel more stressed out. Yeah, that's a more stressed out thing. So it's already time for another break. I'm Aaron Brinker.
I'm Tobin Brinker.
And I'm Todd Brinker.
There you go. And we are on the Brink, the morning show on KCAA AM 1050. We'll be right back.
Dear future husband, here's a few things you need to know if you wanna be my one and only. All my life.
It's time for the KCAA Community Calendar, brought to you exclusively by Learn for Life, a growing network of public charter schools. The clear mission of Learn for Life is to motivate and mentor students who have dropped out of school and provide them with the personalized education and technical training necessary to advance their lives.
Here's a look at the community calendar. I'm Carlos Gonzalez. The city of San Bernardino invites you to take advantage of Free Dump Day. If you haven't wanted mattresses, appliances, tires, electronics, or shrubs to get rid of, mark the last Saturday of each month on your calendar. You must provide proof of residency with your driver's license or utility bill. No hazardous or construction materials will be accepted. To find out the times and places for Free Dump Day, Google City of San Bernardino calendar. If you're looking for something fun, interesting, and free to do, the City of San Bernardino History and Railroad Museum is open every Saturday from 10 till 3. Schedule a group tour by calling 909-888-3634 and learn some fascinating firsts about San Bernardino. That number again, 909-888-3634. And that's a look at the KCAA Community Calendar. I'm Carlos Gonzalez.
The KCAA Community Calendar is presented exclusively by Learn for Life, a growing network of public charter schools where students can complete their education on a part-time basis. To find a resource center nearest you, call 1-877-360-LEARN or visit Learn for Life online at learn4life.org.
Hey, this is Steve Sanchez, and do you know in 2007, I went off to the doctor for a basic checkup, and he informed me, Steve, you got plaque built up around your heart, and you're going to need stents. I informed him, with no offense, doc, I need a second opinion. I go off to a naturopathic doctor, and he introduces me to something called Zango. It's a juice made of the whole mangosteen fruit. You know, the mangosteen fruit has been used for centuries for healing. So, hey, what do I have to lose? I tried it. 3 months later, I go back to my cardiologist, no plaque, no stents, and I'm proud to say 7.5 years later, I'm stent-free. I want to turn you on to Zango because it's the only true 100% mangosteen fruit juice. It's patented. In fact, the Mayo Clinic is paying attention because they're doing an extensive study because they cannot ignore all the testimonials around the world. I want to give you a free sample of the Zango juice today. Simply call 888-309-5656. That's 888-309-5656 for your free mangosteen juice sample today from the company called Zango.
Are you looking for the right place to purchase your landscaping items? Well, come see us at Hydroscape. Hydroscape offers a large selection of irrigation products including Irritrol and Toro, such as their efficient precision nozzles. For 40 years, Hydroscape has been family-owned and operated, serving Southern California. With 17 locations, our knowledgeable and experienced staff is equipped to help you with all your irrigation, landscape, and outdoor living projects. Whether you're installing irrigation systems, wanting to maintain a healthy landscape, or simply create a beautiful lit space for outdoor entertaining, Hydroscape is the place to go. Visit our website at hydroscape.com for more information and find helpful articles on our blog. Or call our customer service center at 1-800-395-4477.
What have I learned so far? Well, I've learned there's no one right path for everyone. I've learned that without my high school diploma, I could only do so much. My options were limited, very limited. I found a free personalized learning program with Learn for Life that has a flexible schedule so I can keep my job while earning my high school diploma. I found a new career with training opportunities that would jumpstart my future. What have I learned so far? I've learned that I could change my life.
Are you 14 to 19 years old and looking for a free high school diploma program with flexible meeting times? This program allows you to keep your job or important family responsibilities while earning your high school diploma. If you've fallen behind on credits or dropped out of school completely, get back on track with free tutoring, a caring faculty, and one-on-one attention. For more information on how to reach your graduation goal, visit learnforlife.org. That's LEARN, 4, LIFE.org. Or enroll today by calling 877-360-LEARN. That's 877-360-LEARN.
The most diversified radio station on the dial, AM 1050 KCAA.
Welcome back. I'm Erin Brinker.
I'm Tobin Brinker.
And I'm Todd Brinker.
And we are on the Brink the Morning Show on KCAA AM 1050. Now, we've talked a lot on the show about Uber, and they went through they're going through court cases right now dealing with whether or not their employees are 1099 employees or they should be W-2 employees. And I think that they should be W-2 employees because they don't control how much they charge their passengers. They really are they're completely at Uber's bidding, right? So there's an article in Yahoo News that supports this theory. When demand for rides is high, Uber ups its fares. While most passengers don't like this practice, some drivers are also speaking out against it. It was the holiday season in San Francisco in 2013. Office parties were in full swing and people were boozing and reveling. It was a good night for Uber drivers to make extra cash picking up passengers. Peter Ashlock was driving for Uber that night, and as he is on most Friday nights, and got a passenger heading to the airport. The typical fare for our airport ride back then was about $65, but this passenger ended up being charged $179 due to Uber's surge pricing, which is the company's practice of raising prices for rides when demand is high. He said he felt embarrassed, and there was nothing that he could do. I think that's terrible. What do you think, Todd?
Well, I'm two minds. First of all, on the thing about whether they're W-2 or 1099, one of the aspects of being a W-2 employee is that you control, or that you do or not have control over where and when you work. And Uber, clearly, you do have control over where and when you work. So I kind of lean the other way and think they should be 1099. With the app, the way the app works is that when the person calls for the ride, they're told that it's whether they're getting the regular rate or whether they're getting surge pricing, and so they know right up front what they're paying for the ride. So I think that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. My only issue would be that I understand that there are some Uber people out there, some of the drivers who've learned how to game the system a little bit. And so what they're doing is they're like booking fake rides, multiple fake rides, in order to cause a shortage of drivers availability in the area and then kick the price up a little bit because they get a percentage of whatever they get charged. And so to me, that would be wrong. But I mean, you as a person using Uber, when you book the ride, you see how much it's going to be. And if you don't feel that's right, then call a cab, get a bus, call a friend. I mean, you've got lots of options.
Well, back to the question about whether they should be 1099 or W-2. The thing about it for me is that if you were, so a real marketplace that, and this is the example that Tobin and I used it earlier in the year, in a marketplace that is really just a framework, would be eBay. That's a great example of they've built this platform, and then lots of people have their businesses on eBay, whole businesses on eBay, selling what they want. It's branded the way they want. They can do what they want. In Uber, you can't. You are driving under the Uber banner, and yes, it's your car, and yes, you can decide your own hours, but everything else is negotiated by the company, not by you. So you can't co-brand, you can't make your own little Uber site that says Bob's Taxi or Tom's Taxi, or whatever.
Right, but isn't that kind of like a franchise? If I own a McDonald's franchise, I don't work for McDonald's. I own my franchise, but that doesn't mean that I can start selling, I guess I do sell Big Macs, don't I? If I own a McDonald's franchise, but I can't start selling a Whopper at my McDonald's franchise because I agreed to the franchise.
But you can choose the price, so you can go. Sometimes prices are different at different franchises for McDonald's. They don't always participate in the contests or games. They don't always do the promotional items. They
right, but they also set constraints on that. I can't go and charge $1,500 for a Big Mac as a franchise owner.
Well,
and so there's some limitations there.
Have you been to the airport, Todd?
Yeah. Once you get past security, prices have no meaning.
$1,500 Big Mac at LAX. I'm pretty sure that's how much they're charging right now.
Well, I am not a fan of Uber because
neither am I.
Because I feel like they just cheat the system. We've talked about as well as in New York City, it costs like $1,500 to get a taxi medallion. I'm sorry, more than that. To get a taxi, I think it's actually over $1 million. I'm sorry, $1,500 is in my mind. It's like $1 million to get or something ridiculous like that, to get a medallion to operate a taxi in the state in the city of New York. And
right. And then there's special fees even to be allowed to operate in and out of the airport. Like you can have your hack license and work in the city, but to run people to and from the airport, you have to have a special license as well.
Right.
And that's an additional cost. Now, whether or not that might be the city ripping off poor independent cab owners or cab drivers is a whole other story.
Exactly.
But Uber skates all of that.
Right, and they also skate, having to do background checks, and we've heard these stories of people being attacked, people being raped in different countries, including the United States, by Uber drivers, and so. I don't know. I'm just not a fan. I'm just not a fan.
But in high demand areas, there's a lot of gypsy cabs out there running too. I mean, I've flown into New York and taken a gypsy cab into the city because I didn't want to wait in line for 45 minutes. And so 4 guys and I, strangers to me, we all jumped into this guy's car, and he gave us a ride into the city for $15 a piece.
Sweet.
And that was way pre-Uber. This just makes it a little bit more organized and allows me to call the guy. I mean, I understand the idea and the concept. I think it's fine. But when those people who are using it complain about the fact that they're paying a lot of money, they knew that when they called the cab. They could have just said, no, I don't accept the higher rate. I don't want to do that. I'll go find an alternative means.
Yeah, well, so it says, according to this article, most Uber riders despise surge pricing. That's not surprising that they're paying 3 times as much. So the riders don't like it. They've complained about running up bills totaling hundreds of dollars and have criticized the company for using surge prices during emergencies like Hurricane Sandy and the Sydney hostage crisis. The San Francisco Better Business Bureau gave Uber the grade of an F because complaints related to surge pricing. And New York lawmakers have even proposed legislation to put limits on how high fares can go. Now some drivers like Ashlock, the example we used earlier, are also having second thoughts on surge pricing. If you're pricing yourself out of the market or you're ticking off your base, then you've not.
Yeah,
doing
the
a
marketplace
service
will
to
take
yourself.
care of it. Uber will go away, and people
Right.
will take Lyft or some other alternative that comes out there. But I think what Uber needs to do is they need to find a solution that makes them much more transparent on how their pricing is created. And unlike some places, the surge pricing thing makes sense to an extent, but they're not doing just like a 50% increase or saying, hey, there's a $10 surcharge. They're doing multiples of 2-3 times the full rate sometimes.
Exactly.
And
a
so
300% jump is ridiculous.
Yeah, that's a lot of money. But again, the person hiring the Uber car, calling the Uber car, sees that when they make the call. I mean, when they use the app, it tells them right then what the price is going to be. So they can choose to find alternative methods, if that's not to their liking. But I think for Uber's sake, just as a business, I would think they would be scrambling to trying to find a way to make the surge pricing more transparent, and also to cut out drivers that are gaming the system, because that has clearly been happening. In fact, there's been several articles about people who, Uber drivers who have admitted that they're doing it in order to bump the prices up so that they can make some more money.
Wow. What do you think, Tobin?
Yeah, it's despicable. I just keep looking at the image they have on this article, and they're actually showing like a screenshot of the phone, and it says surge pricing, demand is off the charts, rates have increased to get more Ubers on the road, and they've multiplied by 3 times what the normal fare would be. You'd be stuck with they tell us, $45 would be your minimum fare, $3.75 a minute, or $14.70 per mile. And $14.70 per mile. And then you push the button to say, I accept that. Now, sure, it's the buyer gets to make the choice. They're not holding a gun to your head saying you got to use Uber. But if you're, stuck and you need to get out of there,
Yeah, I mean, their explanation for that is that they don't have enough drivers to cover the demand in an area, and they're trying to entice more drivers to come out because we're going to pay you more. So that's why they're bumping up the price.
Completely out of time. It is 6:59. This is a great discussion. Todd, thank you so much for joining us, and Todd will be joining us on Tuesdays and Thursdays while Tobin is out running with his students. I'm Erin Brinker.
I'm Tobin Brinker.
And I'm Todd Brinker.
And we are on The Brink, the morning show on KCAA AM 1050. Have a great day, everybody.
This is KCAA Loma Linda, the station that leaves no listener behind. CNBC News is next, a courtesy of buysellmakeoffer.com, where you can post a video about items you have for sale. Sign up now. It's free.
HFA and Case-Shiller Home Price Indexes for June, both out in about a half hour from now. Toll Brothers saw a 12% rise in orders for its luxury homes in the third quarter. Earnings and revenue were roughly in line with estimates, although profits were down from a year earlier. Best Buy sold a lot of big-ticket items like appliances and big-screen TVs during its second quarter, and that helped the consumer electronics giant handily beat analysts' expectations. And Sanderson Farms had a rough quarter, falling short of estimates because of pricing pressures. Chris Maurer, CNBC Business Radio.
I had Belvita breakfast biscuits this morning. Then what did I do? Made my bed, fed my fish, got dressed, cleaned the dish, remembered to floss, but still didn't do it. Ran a lap on the track, dropped my phone, didn't crack, got in before the boss, made sure that he knew it. Oh, hey, you just getting here?
Crunchy Belvita breakfast biscuits are made with